Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. It's October 26th. A lot of volatility in the market today, but more or less consolidation day. GME, kind of the same deal. Bit of red. We realized almost a grand on futures today. Didn't diamond hand them. Somehow I'm not diamond handing futures, even though those you can more than options. Anyways, sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Follow us on Twitter at HappyMoneyYT. And jump in our Discord. Link for those are in the description. We share trades and gifts. I was more hopeful for more of a rally today on GME. We'll get to that in a second. SPY kind of hit a top here. As I was saying, I guess yesterday I was saying it more just because we're getting pretty overextended from that 9 moving average. We could have a bit of a pullback for a short while, but I don't think the bear rally is over. Yeah, so little head and shoulders here on the hourly. Bearish MACD right under the 9. GDP numbers come out tomorrow, as well as earnings after hours. I think the big ones are after hours, and then tomorrow morning. So that could move it some, but just like our bear rally back here, we had this chop, this range that we traded in, and then we broke it. Just like here, I had this chop, this range, we broke it, and then if you look, it's playing out so far really close. So literally broke it, and then consolidated, kind of moved back down for 3 days. Once we got too stretched from that 9 moving average on the daily candles here, came back down to kind of retest the highs here, and then kept moving up. So we'll see. I think we could definitely be in that for the next day or so. GDP as well as earnings are going to probably have some weight on that. That said, today was a pretty wide range because the futures dropped a lot after yesterday's earnings at close. As you see here, it dropped. We're almost down 1%. I actually I went long on SPY futures somewhere around here. So I got 1, and then I scaled in actually at open. I got 2 or 3 more. So I ripped this up with 4 micros on SP, and it was a pretty easy trade today as far as even if you waited till it broke out of this little range it made, which would have been here. I got it like on one of these earlier candles, I think like this one. But yeah, basically just went up, consolidated, stayed above that moving average, ended up being pretty easy. I closed out here on this candle, being a doji candle, and kind of getting up to this resistance. I'm actually not sure if I had that resistance line drawn in there. Why am I getting static? Stop the static. Closed out here, and then actually reopened here on this candle, breaking out, and then closed back here for a small loss on that little one. And then I was out and basically just waited. What is going on? And then yeah, so actually this hold down, I didn't short it because I'm trying to, even though I could have, but I just had in my head I'm bullish on a longer term, so I'm gonna look for dip buys. I did looked at some of the other futures opportunities, what you want to call it, the other futures contracts, and just the other indices, and I think the micro or even the mini Russell, this one moves, the Russell 2000 moves a little more, I think a little more than SPY, so I was watching that a bit. And yeah, I was just like measuring the ranges and stuff. This range was a little bigger than SPY, and so I was like, I'll just give this a go because I'd rather trade fewer contracts just because the commissions on futures contracts can kind of start to add up. It's about I think it's $3 round trip on a future, so opening and closing, which isn't a whole lot, but it does add up, especially if you're doing 3 or 4 contracts per, even if you're scalping. And then also there's crazy commissions, of course, because you're using margin. So I'm gonna talk to E-Trade though and see if they can lower my fees, see if they'll give me a better rate. But yeah, so actually I entered an IWM. What was it? It's /RTY. It's an E-mini Russell. So tick size are 0.1, and then it's $5 every tick. And the thing moved pretty crazy. It was 95,000 in basically leverage. So I just opened it up, kind of see how it'd move, and put a stop loss at break even. And that's kind of what I was doing today for the most part. I caught a little bit of this move down, and then I jumped out of it. I mean, this probably would have been like $600-700 on one of those if I held it, but I'm just kind of feeling it out. And then back to SPY, I did a micro. I did 4 micros on this candle here, this engulfing candle for the upside, and closed them out here actually. Another doji, and it just was starting to look weak, and yeah, it was getting close to VWAP. And then yeah, now I'm just chilling. I guess we'll see after hours. I guess I might trade a little. I might like wait for earnings right at close, and depending on how it is, go long or short just for another little scalp right at close. Kind of like how yesterday it just made this huge move when Microsoft or Google came out, I guess. See if that happens again, and then might just hang out for a bit, not go long yet. Probably not go short either, and just see if this consolidates for a little bit. The hourly is already cooling off pretty good. Yeah, we're back at 59 on the hourly, so our side's looking good. It still could come down more if we're repeating similar bear market rally like we had back here. I'd look for support kind of at the highs back here. So that would be, not to say it would repeat that, but that'd be 378, kind of this range right in here, 378.24, which we could see tomorrow, we could see the day after, and then just see kind of at what low it starts to build a support, and then probably go back long again, unless if it doesn't build a support and just kind of keeps going down, and we're back making new lows and crashing. But we don't have PAL until next Tuesday, I think it's PAL, and so I think we could still kind of rally until then, and even after then we could keep rallying. Could fill this gap till midterms, which are next Tuesday. GME, yeah, so I think there were some obligations that were met yesterday with the rally. I think it had also the momentum of the just bear market rally and risk on, basically. I think this was all kind of momentum with SPY for the most part, and then this was maybe some obligations being met. So that said, I'm not done with GME yet, but today is definitely discouraging a bit. Low volume, down 5%. You know, it's hard after you have a big day and you're hype, you have big volume and broke resistances. Now it's flashing this, breaking out of this wedge again. Where is it? Yeah, right here. So yeah, I guess I see it just moving with the SPY at this point. So if SPY cools off tomorrow, a little more, kind of consolidates again, and even into, would that be Friday, I guess. I think GME probably do something similar, and then if we start to get another rally starting next week, or even into the end of this week, I think GME will probably move with it. But as far as it being a huge move at this point, it's too early for me to tell, but it's looking less likely that we're gonna have a huge move. So a move maybe up to what these are calling for, kind of that 32 range, somewhere back up to kind of that equilibrium on GME. It's down here at 25. It's kind of a demand zone, I think. Demand, supply. Yeah. Anyways, so I think we could get a move up, but it might not be a huge one for this time. But we'll see. Volume starts to come in. We get the bear market rally starts supported on a large scale. It could be good. I did sit through my calls today. I did trim some shares on this Webull account. Just wanted to reduce some exposure. Basically, if it does end up being a dud, then this will have been a big bear flag. Basically. Oh, what's this one? I don't have that there. Yeah, on the weekly. Get rid of this. So, dang, those candles are crazy on the weekly. Basically what we've done for weeks. So we'll see. BBY, AMC, kind of the same deal. Actually, BBBY was more bullish this morning than GME. So was AMC. Yeah, borrow fee came down a little bit. Not a great sign. Not much. was around 9, now it's 8.9, just kind of slowly melting. Say it's coming down here more. Max pain week's 25, 50, sure enough, and it's possible we just close there and we honestly continue the rally next week. Just kind of burn some theta on whatever positions are open. That's why theta farming is great. Let me show you guys what we did. This morning I opened up bullish Netflix and Tesla plays. I actually ended up closing them for a small profit once the SPY looked like it was kind of hitting a top for the next few days. I only had 9 days on them, so I just closed those. The rest of my bullish plays, a lot of my account was green today, so that was weird. That's why the market has to come down. But the ones that have more time, I left them. Beto call is, these calls are way up. Bitcoin has started its rally. I have done some micro Bitcoin futures. I don't like the leverage I don't like the leverage on them very much. We'll see. I might be doing Ethereum ones, but I think so far my favorite's either the S&P futures or even like natural gas and kind of those ones. I want to look into the bonds. I know they're like huge and crazy ones, but I want to start looking at those because those charts are pretty easy to read and they're not crazy. So here's TLT. You know what I mean? Like it's just been a consistent trend. Doesn't say it'll always be like that. Like you could have some chop, but it's just been a nice consistent trend and then a nice bounce out of the bottom. So I'm long on this, just with options though. Anyways, yeah, just gonna look at some other futures we could do. Options today, yeah. So there's the Netflix and Tesla. That's all I did, I guess. Bought and sold those. The GME stuff, they bled out 75% down today on these calls, these 30 calls, but we'll see. I've got till next Friday on them. So on a bounce, we have a bounce this week still. I'll probably dump them and then just wait until more confirmation of up move. AMD calls are long is up, Beto's up, Kodak is up. It's getting that pre-earnings run. It looks good still. TLT call here's up. Upstart, it was up a bit. Now it's kind of flattened back out. Kind of just reduced actually a little bit of exposure today. Just the stuff that I opened this morning, pretty much. Futures I'm left with. So I had the Bitcoin one, and then I had, I guess, S&P long. I think yesterday's video. So I did all that scalping that you saw, and I haven't closed the natural gas. So this is kind of more of a macro, I guess, macro play. So I'm kind of fine to hold through some volatility, especially as the chart continues to look more bullish. This thing's held up nicely. So we'll see. I do have a stop loss. So I've been doing stop losses on this stuff, which is pretty foreign to me. I never really did stop losses until a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I've been opening up positions and then kind of waiting for it a bit to move in the right direction. And if it doesn't, I don't like it, then I'll cut out for a little loss if it gives me a loss. If it does, I'll kind of hold through a little volatility, and then after it gets far enough away from my opening price, I'll usually just set a stop loss for break even. So it did stop me out once on this little bounce. I set my stop loss too early. It opened up here, and then it came up here, and I set my stop loss for open, which was like right here at the top of this candle. Stopped me out, and then I was like, oh shoot. And then so I actually opened it back up somewhere on this candle, and then I waited till here for it to stop me out, or to set my stop loss back at break even. But I ended up just mainly closing it for, I think, like $200 on that one up here. So that's kind of been my strategy a bit with futures, just because it is a lot of margin. I mean, you can definitely blow up more than you can afford, pal, pretty much. So here we go. Yeah, those are the micros, and then here's the Bitcoin future, micro S&P. Here's the Russell one I was talking about. So this was pretty big. This was basically like 5 or 6 micros, because it was like 95 grand in leverage. So it moves pretty crazy. And there's that little one. So it doesn't really show you position, like your performance. But yeah, we have realized gains. I'm still negative on the year. We'll see when this updates tomorrow. Just kind of getting my feet wet with it. Of course, it's going to cost us some money, but climbing back out of this hole for now. See what happens. I think the bear rally. I think it could still be going on. We'll give it a couple days, give it some data. And yeah, didn't do anything else. Still have my GME position. Like I said, I did trim a little bit on this account. I think I had $6,000 worth on Webull that I closed. Might reopen it, might not. It's not a huge position, but kind of just waiting to see what happens. I mean, this move, this is like a almost perfect 50% retracement, I think. Or close to it. Yeah. So let's see. Or 61.8. Kind of coming a little below that now. We'll see. So, yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Discord. Peace out.